Call of Duty. These three words will generate one of two reactions in most people, either the feeling of victory and excitement or an expression of rather excessive hatred. I'm not a fan of the Call of Duty series, and I'm going to tell you why. Some will dislike the video immediately having heard me say that, which goes a fair ways to proving one of my points later on. I find the series to be linear to a fault, extremely repetitive, and really the only major change is the graphics year over year. Well, that and the community keeps getting worse. To the first, the idea that a full-price AAA title has a single-player campaign not more than about 5 or 6 hours is embarrassing, especially with the size of budget that each of these games has. The franchise has never even attempted to do what games like Dishonored do, with a short main campaign but larger fleshed-out areas. Some will say that the focus, of course, is on multiplayer, and I would agree. But then I would ask, what is the purpose of the single-player campaign? It's certainly not to train people how to play the game, because the style just isn't remotely similar. I'm also not a fan of rail shooters, and that's what the single-player COD gameplay is, even though you can control the speed your rail moves. To the second point of repetition, one must be familiar with all of the Call of Duty games. I've heard defenses against the similarity issue that will focus on things like how killstreak has changed over time, or the alteration of rewards for varied goals throughout the game. These minor types of changes do not prove game evolution over multiple iterations, and could be added via DLC instead of a full sequel release. Is it bad when the only real evolutionary multiplayer feature was the Elite subscription service? Well, I guess you could consider zombies a change, though how well that fits in with modern military shooters is anyone's guess. Even when you look at the single player, which is supposed to have a new campaign every time, have you ever noticed the similarities? Or maybe I'm the only one who's sick of the crawl to the gun quicktime event, shoot the boss in slow motion part. To the third, on graphics, this is actually the strongest point I feel in the progression of the Call of Duty series. The development teams focus on making each one look really slick with lots of explosions and a great marketing campaign. Though personally, I miss the days when a sequel would actually take a few years to release. You knew that real effort was being made to improve the game. With an iteration every year, how much time is actually being spent on these titles? On the Call of Duty community, well, it pretty much has a crappy reputation everywhere you go. Now, I'm planning on buying Black Ops 2. After such a rant, you might ask why that is. Well, the last COD game that I bought was Modern Warfare 2, and I feel the same about Call of Duty as I imagine I would if I played sports games. Buy one every 3 to 4 years. Don't support the weak, yearly iterations. It just tells the publishers that you're willing to buy anything with a Call of Duty stamp on it. That's all I have to say. Tarmack out. Feature Creep is a bi-weekly show, caustic, direct, and done in 3 minutes or less. These are designed to make people think, so a like and dislike isn't really good enough. I want to see your comments and hear your opinions on what I talked about today. And if you really like them, hit the subscribe button. I'll make sure I keep the content coming and you won't be disappointed.